I'm happy to help you explore different perspectives on this topic, but it's important to remember that beliefs about religious figures like Jesus can vary widely among individuals and religious traditions. Here are 30 points that some people might use to argue that Jesus is not God. 1. Unitarian monotheism. Many believe in the strict monotheistic view and do not accept the concept of the Trinity. 2. Historical Judaism. Traditional Jewish belief holds that God is indivisible and not part of a Trinity. 3. Exegesis of Old Testament. Some argue that the Old Testament doesn't explicitly support a Trinitarian view of God. 4. Jesus' human limitations. Jesus displayed human characteristics and limitations in the Bible. 5. Prayer to God. Jesus prayed to God, which some interpret as evidence that he is distinct from God. 6. Incarnation as a prophet or messenger. Some believe that Jesus was a prophet or messenger of God, not God himself. 7. Son of God metaphor. Son of God can be interpreted metaphorically as a close relationship with God, rather than literal divinity. 8. Messiahship versus divinity. Many see Jesus as the prophesied Messiah, distinct from being God. 9. Titles like Son of Man. Jesus often referred to himself as the Son of Man, a term that doesn't imply divinity. 10. Non-biblical sources. Some argue that non-biblical sources don't corroborate the divinity of Jesus. 11. Councils of Nicaea and Chalcedon. Disagreement about these early Christian councils and their formulation of the nature of Christ. 12. Adoptionist Christology. Some early Christian groups believed Jesus became divine at his baptism, not from eternity. 13. Arianism. A historical belief that Jesus was a created being, not co-eternal with God. 14. Docetism. An ancient belief that Jesus only appeared to be human, but was actually purely divine. 15. Ebionism. Early Christian sect that believed Jesus was a human prophet, not divine. 16. Historical critical scholarship. This approach to biblical studies interprets the Bible in its historical and cultural context, often leading to non-divine interpretations of Jesus. 17. Early Christian diversity. There were many diverse beliefs within early Christianity, some of which didn't affirm Jesus' full divinity. 18. Islamic perspective. Islam recognizes Jesus as a prophet, but not as divine. 19. Gnostic Gospels. Some Gnostic texts present Jesus in a non-Trinitarian light. 20. Unitarian Christianity. Modern Christian denominations like Unitarian Universalism reject the Trinitarian view. 21. Socinianism. A historical Christian theology that denies the Trinity. 22. Jehovah's Witnesses. They believe that Jesus is the Son of God, but not God himself. 23. Biblical interpretation. Different interpretations of passages that are traditionally associated with Jesus' divinity. 24. Role in salvation. Some argue that Jesus can fulfill his role in salvation without being God. 25. Cultural influences. The concept of a divine human figure may have been influenced by Hellenistic and Roman religious ideas. 26. Development of doctrine. Some argue that the doctrine of the Trinity evolved over time and wasn't present in the earliest Christian communities. 27. Non-biblical sources on Jesus. Some historical sources outside the Bible don't necessarily affirm Jesus' divinity. 28. Anti-Trinitarian movements. Throughout history, there have been various movements and groups that rejected the Trinity. 29. Personal faith and experience. Some people may have personal religious experiences that lead them to interpret Jesus differently. 30. Alternative religious perspectives. Other world religions have their own interpretations of Jesus, often not aligning with mainstream Christian views of his divinity. It's important to approach discussions about religion with respect for differing beliefs and interpretations. These points represent perspectives held by various individuals or groups and may not encompass all views on this complex theological topic.